Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with the winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with part two of Today in Sports Betting. It is the Tuesday edition, otherwise known as MLB. And I'm going to take a look at it with my partner in crime here. The only guy I can text at 3 in the morning and know he'll still be up. It is Scott Reichel. Scotty, what's up, buddy?
Well, that means you haven't been texting David Hess enough. So maybe you could be doing that more in the future. But, yeah, it's nice to talk about some massive choke jobs by the Athletics yesterday at roughly 2 in the morning.
I can't with that team.
But that was my play of the day. They blew a 9-game winning streak by blowing a 5-run lead in the fourth, and for some reason they keep pitching to Trout. But my day was probably made worse because of the news that happened in the middle of the afternoon.
Not good.
Which was that, one of my favorite sports to bet on is probably not going to happen because college football is now, not looking too good. I know that some players were proposing the idea of an opt-in system where you're not going to actually have games, but players who want to opt in can form kind of a breakaway college football season and stuff like that. Is that going to happen? Of course not. Because that's just a bunch of liability that the NCAA doesn't need.
Nope.
But they're mentioning the idea, maybe. But I know the Big Ten, which is my conference, based on what college I went to, basically announced they're waving the flag. So it's not going to look good. Do I think the SEC is going to potentially form a breakaway? I think if one conference is going to do it, it would be the SEC, and I believe we both kind of predicted that about 2 months ago.
Yeah, and it's not surprised that the Pac-12 apparently has followed suit as well. You and I were definitely all over that. We talked about.
Well, I remember BetOnline had that prop on which conference was going to be the first one to officially cancel games, I think. And I think the Pac-12 was the favorite, and we both liked the Pac-12.
Yep.
Were they the first?
No, they weren't. The Big Ten was really the first.
Big Ten did come before.
Yeah.
It kind of blends together because once one conference decided to shut it down, it's turned into a domino effect.
Yep.
So I guess the Big Ten decided to shut it down first. But, yeah, not a great day based on the college football. Then you had the A's choke job and the at roughly 1:30 in the morning. You see Petit coming in, and you see Trout there, and you probably say to yourself, maybe, just maybe, you should walk the guy. Just hear me out. You know, he's 3 for 4 with a home run, and you haven't gotten him out pretty much all day. And it wasn't even that bad of a pitch. It was a curveball in the bottom of the zone. It wasn't a hanger, and Trout launched it into orbit. So it happens.
It was an over day yesterday, buddy. It was Square City. Just 2 unders came in as Minnesota took care of Milwaukee. You know who got the win?
Our boy Dobnik.
Randy Dobnik got the win. Absolutely.
I think we both liked that under in that match.
Yeah, that was a good under there. And another one that we talked about the under, although they switched pitchers, and I switched directions on this one, and it ended up coming in the under anyway, was San Diego and the Dodgers, where San Diego was supposed to start Garrett Richards, and they actually switched, made it a bullpen day. San Diego, far and away the worst bullpen in Major League Baseball, especially on the road, almost a 9 ERA on the road. They ended up giving the Dodgers, I think one hit. I think they one hit him the last time I looked.
Could have been earlier. Truth is, I paid no attention to that game. You had the A's game, which was nuts, which was also my play today, so I had some vested interest in the game. Plus, the Colorado game where Arizona's bullpen was trying to choke that in the 9th. So that game was very entertaining. When you have a game that's 9-9 in the 8th and a game that's like 12-7 in the 7th, I'm not going to turn on the game that's 2-1 in the 7th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And I was kind of flipping around. And, because I had Colorado. I really like that Colorado team.
I said Colorado team total over in that spot, and that ended up catching.
They got home there. Every over in the world hit on that game as Arizona wins 12-8. And Colorado had a shot at it. They had
no outs in the ninth.
They had the bases loaded. They bring in a closer, get the bases loaded with a 5-run lead. He gets the save. Ends up getting the save in that one because the tying run.
They only gave up 1 run. Run line bettors, I'm sure, were sweating like crazy on that one.
Oh, I know. He gave up a run on a double play, and at that point, you're trading 2 outs for a run all day long in that one. So let's take a look at today's lineup, Scott, and everybody in action, of course, except the St. Louis Cardinals and their unfortunate team that they should be playing right now, the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's probably a probably a good thing. We can we don't have to watch the Pirates play baseball one of these days. So let's start off with a game there in the East as Miami cooling off a little bit, heads and plays Toronto. Is this going to be Toronto's? Are they in Buffalo for this one? Is this their first game up in Buffalo?
They've played 2 games in Buffalo already. They're 0-2.
Okay, so they started this week in Buffalo. Okay, that's
It has not worked out, but that's what they've been doing.
okay. So Eliezer Hernandez goes against Hyun-Jin Ryu for Toronto.
I think you know where I'm going on this one.
Tell me.
Toronto team total under.
Oh, yeah.
I can't go against it. This team is tied. This team is in possession of last place in runs per game.
Yeah, 4.5 is the total there.
They're averaging 3 runs a game, and they're playing in a quote-unquote home stadium that they're winless in the history of the franchise. So this team can't score. You saw them against Boston, they couldn't score. Saw them in every game they've played so far this season, they can't score. And I'm not saying that Miami has a phenomenal pitching staff, but it's performed like a phenomenal pitching staff up to this point. Hernandez, so far this season, has an ERA of 0.
Yeah.
So 4.5, I'll take it.
Okay. All right. Very good. I think that's the play. I think you keep riding this Toronto team total under until they preview differently. Kind of like riding the A's, and of course it is going to eventually jump up and bite you. Is today going to be the day? I don't know. It's
until it burns me, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, because Hernandez has been very good. Like I said, he hasn't given up and earned. 0.7 WHIP. So Hyun-Jin Ryu has been fairly disappointing there in Toronto. If you wanted to play Miami, getting a good price on him, it's I wouldn't hate you there either.
Well, I actually wrote an article about this game on winnersandwonders.com, and at the time, I leaned to Miami because Toronto was roughly minus 180, I think, on the money line. And I looked over thinking to myself, I don't know who's playing Toronto minus 180, but good luck to you. Well, I leaned to Miami in the under.
The answer to that question is pretty much nobody, because that line is plummeted down to minus 155 plus 143 on the other side.
Correct.
So I still think there's value on the Marlins at plus 143. That means basically you're saying that's 3-2. Does Toronto win 3 games out of every 5 in this pitching matchup? Between these,
I don't see it.
They don't.
I know Miami lost their last 2 to the Mets. They've still been the better team this season.
Yeah, and they were able to put some runs on the board against DeGrom. So
offensively, they've been decent.
Yeah,
I think it's actually funny because Toronto has scored like 3 more runs than Miami, and they've played like 5 more games.
Yeah, that's probably. Is there a crazier story than the Marlins?
So just to actually break it down, because I have it in front of me now, the Marlins have played 3 fewer games than Toronto, and yet they've scored 3 more runs. They've scored 3 more runs than Toronto in 3 fewer games.
Yeah, Toronto is averaging exactly 3 runs a game.
They're last in the league.
39 runs in 13 games.
They can't score. They're last.
I'm no math major, but yeah, that's 3 runs per. That's not going to get you. That's not going to get you many victories. The weird thing is, Scott, the run difference was only 13 runs.
So you're saying there's a chance?
You're saying there's a chance. That's also, you could play in full game under too if you wanted to. That wouldn't be.
I don't want to jump the gun, by the way, and I don't want to turn this into a Toronto rant when this is the first game on the card. I know it's still early in Bichette and Guerrero's careers.
Yes,
Joe as well. Is Guerrero overrated? Or is it too early to tell? Because guys like Tatis show up, and they're roughly around the same time period, and Tatis is tied for the league lead in home runs. It looks like a generational talent. I don't think Guerrero's batted more than 250 over the span of about a month and a half. You
learn a lot watching these guys play their second year, because the league is.
I don't know if this counts as a second year.
What's that?
I don't know if this counts as a second year because Guerrero came up midway through the first year. And it's an abridged season, but if I'm just going to be honest, Guerrero looks terrible.
Well, I think the more because this is a league of adjustments. Pitchers adjust, batters adjust, and it's how well you adjust to the adjustments that really is going to tell you what kind of career you're going to have. And at this point,
yeah,
I'm not loving Guerrero. I'm really not.
I think the issue I have with Guerrero is that he's been in the league for about a year, and they've already moved him to first base because he can't play third.
Yeah.
That's not a great look. I still have faith in him as a talent, and I think that he could turn into a solid player. But people are waiting for him like he's the second coming in Toronto, and I don't see it. I think that he has a lot of hype behind him, which makes sense. And you saw the home run derby performance. I mean, yeah, if you throw a Major League Baseball pitcher, a baseball batter, 40-mile-per-hour pitches, he probably should be launching about 40-something home runs over the wall.
He hits very well off his uncle,
That's what I'm saying.
Whoever pitched to him there.
You bring out his grandfather and underhand pitching. I feel like you probably should be crushing these, but he hasn't made the adjustment, and I'm kind of wondering if Toronto is. I am a fan of Biggio, and I am a fan of Bichette. So I'm not going to go out and say all three of these youngsters are. No, I like Bichette a lot. I think Biggio is really good. But I think as of right now, Guerrero's probably been the worst of the three, and he's supposed to be the best of the three.
Yep. All right, so we're well on our way to a 4-hour show. So.
Anyway, that was my take. I think we agree on that point.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the game I can't wait to talk about. How about the Red Hot Royals going against the Cincinnati Reds? This is a game up there being played in Cincinnati. Both these teams had the day off yesterday. Chris Bubik goes for the Royals against Luis Castillo.
Well,
for the Reds.
Yeah, the truth is I wrote an article about this game as well for Winners and Whiners. I lean to the Reds and I lean to the over. Main reason why I lean to the over is that even though Bubik has pitched okay, he is still 0-2, and he hasn't looked insanely sharp, and this is going to be his first time in Great American Ballpark, which I think could be a potential disastrous cameo appearance for him in this interleague matchup. Meanwhile, Luis Castillo has not been sharp at all, even though he was supposed to be a potential Cy Young candidate going into the year. So I lean to the over there, especially with the way both lineups are performing. I lean to the Reds on the money line on this matchup because I really don't trust Bubik in his first start at Great American, which I think could be a serious problem. Based on the line, I would probably lean to Royals plus 1.5. I don't know what that number is. It's probably around minus 110, minus 115.
Minus 125.
It's not bad. I think you might be onto something if you would take the Royals plus 1.5, since they are on a decent winning streak right now. This team's hitting well, and Castillo has not looked sharp, so that name might look a little bit more intimidating on paper.
Let me tell you something. You talk about Bubik up there in Great American Ballpark, but the Royals, the middle of their lineup is mashing right now. Franco.
Well, I was talking about Bubik in terms of pitching.
I understand, but I mean, you turn that around. There's going to be both teams that are going to be swinging for the fences.
That's why I lean to the over.
Yeah, I think the over is a good play. I think there's value on the Royals at plus 159. Sorry,
I think there might be. That's why I said plus 1.5 for safety, because a part of me is still concerned that you have such a young guy who's looked pretty good so far at his first two starts.
Yeah,
he's going to Cincinnati now. Like that's not exactly a pitcher-friendly ballpark. And Castillo, even though he has struggled, at least he knows how to pitch in that ballpark, or at least he should know how to pitch in that ballpark.
Right.
You think that plays a factor at all, or no?
Yeah, I do. Bubik hasn't really. I
like him.
He hasn't been victimized by the long ball yet, and he's gone against two pretty fair hitting clubs there in the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago clubs. He's gone against the Cubs and the White Sox, giving up just one home run in 10 innings. So yeah, I mean, there's always a danger in that little bandbox that is Great American, but yeah, I like the over. I think that's probably should be your primary play there, but I think there's value on the Royals at plus 159 if you wanted to play the safety there with the plus 1.5. To me, you're giving away too much value, but I get it.
Well, considering the fact that you're with the road team and the home team might not bat in the ninth.
Right, I get it. That's if you're going to play plus 1.5, you always want to play it with a road team or almost.
It didn't work with the Giants yesterday, but I still like the play.
Yep. Okay. What a lot of people thought it was going to be a World Series preview. I'm really down on one of these teams right now. It's going to be the Yankees Braves.
No, the Yankees have been terrible lately, right?
Yankees minus 132, Braves plus 122. 10 is the total there in Yankee Stadium.
There is one positive, though, for the Braves going into this game. Do you know what it is?
I know what.
Newcomb's not going to be pitching back-to-back days.
Yeah, good point. It's going to be a bullpen day for the Braves. Touki Toussaint gets the start against Montgomery for the Yankees. Montgomery has not looked great this season.
50-50. He was good in his first start. He wasn't good in his second start. So it's
well, when you say not good in his second start,
yeah, Philly kind of killed him.
Yeah, that's a four innings, 6 hits, 5 earned. That's a little better than not good. He's given up a couple of home runs this season. I'm down on this Braves team, man. I just am. I know you're not as far down as I am.
It depends on what you're looking at. Are you looking at current form, or are you looking at potential World Series aspirations?
I'm looking at potential World Series aspirations, and
We're both down on Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was screwed once Soroka got injured, but it's to win the World Series. I mean, I still think they're going to end up trading for a veteran, and we had this conversation, I believe, a day ago.
Well, yeah, we talked about this because I told you how down on Atlanta I was, and you said, well, they're going to trade for a veteran like Jeff Samardzija.
I didn't say it's going to solve the problems, but you definitely the writing's on the wall. They're going to be trading somebody, especially now that Newcomb can't pitch. They're probably going to move Newcomb back to the bullpen because as a starter, he doesn't have it. And you're probably going to have to trade for some veteran who you think can maybe piece together a decent second half.
Good luck.
I said Cueto, maybe Minor, maybe a Johnny Cueto. I know I mentioned a couple Giants pitchers, but they have a lot of old guys who aren't that good anymore.
Yeah.
I think they could be trying to get younger.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you agree with me because Atlanta's rotation needs to, I don't say have an overhaul. They need something.
They're in a world of hurt. They've already got a bullpen spot there. So I don't know what you do. If you take Newcomb out of the rotation, you've got to replace him. You've got to replace him with a real starter. And
that's why I think the veteran has to kind of come into play. Unless you sign Bartolo and you make some jokes.
I got jokes for Bartolo. I do. Do you think we talked about making a side bet on this? Do you think Atlanta makes the playoffs? Do you think they're one of the top 2 teams in the East?
Yes. Nothing about the Mets has me optimistic about them. The Nationals, even though they scored 16 runs yesterday, I'm still not a big fan of that team. I think their lineup's still not great overall. I don't know why anyone pitches to Soto. He hit a ball that didn't even land yet yesterday.
Right.
And the bullpen's atrocious. So, no, I don't like the Nationals. The Phillies, I think, are the potential sleeper team in that division.
Yeah.
But I don't like their bullpen either. At the end of the day, yesterday is a perfect example of why I can't go against Atlanta. They got destroyed yesterday really badly, and they were down roughly 14 runs, and they scored 8 runs in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
The team's gonna hit. They're gonna win enough games to finish at least in second place. Are they gonna win the division? Maybe, but I think they're definitely a top 2 team in that division.
Well, they lead the majors in runs scored at this point. So I mean, that is the saving grace that offense has still been there for them. And I know this is an obvious stupid thing to say, but Atlanta is going to have to win by outscoring people. They're not going to outpitch anybody.
I did read that somewhere though, that scoring more runs than your opponent leads to more wins.
Hot take, buddy.
Hot take. But no, to answer your question I don't know if we're going to do a side bet on it. Yes, I think Atlanta's still going to make the playoffs. Are they going to get out of the first round? Probably not.
No. We'll see how that goes. Soroka going down there is pretty much they put them in a world of hurt. All right, so who do you like there? You like the Yankees laying the price? You want to take the value on the Braves at plus 122?
Neither. I think I'm taking the over.
Just blindly bet the over regardless of what it is.
I think you kind of have to. I know Montgomery's been solid, but he pitches to contact, and I think at Yankee Stadium pitching to contact is, I guess, especially against Atlanta,
not a good strategy.
Death sentence.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lean to the over there because Toussaint, even if he pitches decently, first of all, his ERA is not any good. Second of all, he's only going to go about 2 innings. And both teams have very, very intimidating lineups on paper. So I'll lean to the over. It's already gone down to 9.5.
I was going to say, because I'm looking at it right now, and it's plus 100 over 10, so I was hoping it might go down to 9.5. So
if it goes down to 9.5, like minus 120,
lock it up.
Which is where you're going to find it, I would take that.
Lock it up. All right, Phillies and Orioles. Phillies minus 182, Orioles plus 167. Alex Cobb.
Am I nuts for kind of liking the first 5 under here?
Cobb against Wheeler.
Cobb actually looked pretty good in his first start against Boston, and after people kind of sold all their stock on him, which wasn't that high to begin with, it's actually looked decent this year. And Wheeler's looked almost unhittable.
Yeah, I was at the Futures game where Alex Cobb pitched, and where he was supposed to be the absolute next big thing. So yeah, in that respect, he's looked a little disappointing, but yeah, I think he's
He
yeah,
might have learned something this year in comparison to recent years.
I'm fine. You know what? I'm not thinking of Cobb. I was thinking of
Wheeler's been great.
Dylan Bundy. Sorry. Yeah, Alex Cobb. They pretty much wrote him off down there in Tampa Bay, and he's had a bit of a second life there.
So far this season, he's had a second life.
Yeah, he's made 3 decent starts. He's hasn't given up more than 2 runs in any of his starts. Giving up just 2 home runs and 14 and a third. Nothing wrong with that, especially pitching in Baltimore. You looking for value here? You want to play you play Baltimore at a nice price there against the Phillies?
I think I'm just going first 5 under. I'll just take the pitching matchup.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to play it, but it's just a matter of I like both starters a little bit too much. You've already seen money come in on the under as it went from 9 to 8.5. Think that's warranted, and I don't want anything to do with either bullpen. So I'll go with first 5 under.
Okay, 4.5 is your number right there. So
not bad.
Cleveland and Chicago. This is and the Cubbies. Cleveland minus 106, Cubs minus 104. So basically,
we got a Cubs sighting. It's been what, about a week?
It seems that way. John Lester, the ageless wonder, goes against Aaron Plutko for the Cleveland Indians. 9 is the total there. This Cleveland team is don't look now. They're really struggling scoring runs, Scott.
We've pointed this out for weeks.
Yeah, I know. They're
we going back to the well on first 5 under?
Against Lester, I think you have to. Lester's is having a hell of a year.
The only question is his rotation, his rhythm might be off because they haven't played in about a week.
Right, I understand.
I'm curious if the added layoff might make him a little bit rusty, but he's looked great, and Cleveland can hit. So I guess I have to lean to first 5 under.
Yep. Lester's gone 11 innings, giving up just 1 earned. That'll get you some wins. Yeah, I like. I don't know what else you play there.
You could take the Cubs, but I would
probably take the Cubs. I do like the first 5 under a little bit more.
Yeah.
And let's see what they've done to us there, if they've because a lot of times you can get a little value.
Well, this game's going up from 8 to 9, so you have seen some movement to the over. I think that if it's going to go over, it's mostly going to be the bullpens.
How about 5.5, buddy?
In the first 5?
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming there's heavy juice to the under.
No, it's square. It's 110 each way.
Yeah, that's a play.
Yeah, that's a play. That's a play all day. I thought they'd do some funny.
I figured it would be 4.5 or 5 even.
Yeah, I figured 4.5 right there. Yeah, loving that. That's some extra value right there. White Sox Tigers. Another game that odds makers have pretty much said, yeah, good luck. Minus 107, minus 103. Gio Gonzalez goes for the White Sox against Alexander. For the Tigers, Scott, Tigers are the second place team in the AL Central. Is there any hope? There's been some. Yeah, they're kind of the Baltimore Orioles of the AL Central. Anything to like about this Tiger squad? They've won 4 straight.
Well, I like the guy on the mound. I like Alexander. I think he's one of the best pitchers they have on the staff. As if you remember, he's the one who came out of the bullpen. He's tied the American League record for most consecutive strikeouts.
Right, struck out 9 in a row.
He's been good. I can't say his stuff is very dynamic. His fastball's maybe at 91, 92. He's kind of a movement guy. I think him and him and Gonzalez are kind of similar. They're not going to blow you away with speed. They're kind of going to get crafty, throw some off-speed stuff, rely on some movement for some weak contact typically. I probably wait till the lineup because I know that C.J. Cron got injured for Detroit, and I know that he's not a big name for most teams. He's a decent power bat for Detroit, and especially with the lefty-righty situation going on because Gonzalez on the mound, I think you kind of want Cron in that lineup. I'm going to pass. If I had to lean anywhere, I would probably lean. I might surprise you. I'm going to lean to the under, but I'm not happy about anything in this game.
I'll play Detroit. I'll play Detroit there. I'll take the value on Detroit.
I think the issue I have with Alexander is that he's not an innings eater. He's the kind of guy who was originally coming out of the bullpen. He'll
Yeah.
give you, what, 5 innings max?
Yeah. He's still trying to find his way as far as being a starter goes.
And I hate that Detroit bullpen. So I can't do it. But I think if you want to go first 5 under, you can.
Okay. All right, play that. Nationals, Mets, Scherzer, Porcello. Not surprisingly, Nationals favorite there behind Scherzer, minus 138 plus 128.
We on the run line on this one, or what are we doing?
8.5. Play the Nats run line plus 110. Not much value there.
That's not great at all.
No, 48 cents, dude. I might as well do
Nats money line.
Yeah, just play the Nats. I've still fade Porcello every chance I get.
Porcello's actually been decent his last couple starts, so props to him. But at the end of the day, Nationals just scored 16 runs yesterday. Scherzer's on the hill. Yeah, not a great spot to be a Mets fan right now.
Nope. Again, fade Porcello. I don't.
Do you think it's a next level low, by the way, when one of their players who's currently injured decides to opt out, in Marcus Stroman?
What's that?
Is it a new low if one of your players who's currently injured for probably the next 2 months decides to opt out of the bubble? Or not opt out of the bubble, opt out of the season?
Oh, is Stroman opt out?
Yeah, he flew the coop.
I did not see that. Yeah, that's not good. Are you buying Porcello back?
No, I'll take Scherzer.
Okay, because this is the same one that this victory, this matchup was the last time that Porcello pitched and he outpitched Scherzer.
Yep.
So I don't think that happens again. I don't think Porcello.
Did he outpitch Scherzer? Did Scherzer get injured after an inning? I'm pretty sure Scherzer got pulled after.
Oh, that was the one where he got. Yeah, you're right. He got pulled out the first. Well, he went 7, gave up 1 earned. So
yeah, no, Porcello was still outpitching him based on the full, how the game turned out. But Scherzer only pitched 1 inning, so I'm not going to.
Pretty much tells you about Porcello's year that he went 7 innings, gave one earned run, took his ERA down to 6.92.
Not bad.
Boston, Tampa Bay, buddy.
I'm leaning back to Tampa. I know I said I liked Tampa yesterday. Didn't look good early. They rallied from behind. That game was kind of chaotic. Tampa held on, right? They won that game?
I believe they did.
I thought they were up 8-7 in the ninth.
Tampa's won 3 straight. They
were up 8-7 in the ninth, so they did hold on. I'm winning to Tampa. This team's been hot. Boston's bad. And I'm not going to go ahead and say that I'm a huge fan of Tampa's pitcher in this game, but they're basically
Andrew Kittredge, are you?
Not really, but he's a bullpen arm, so you're basically just going to be going back to the bullpen. Yeah. And I don't like Martin Perez either, so I'll lean to Tampa.
Okay.
You're getting a pretty good price there with Tampa.
Yeah, you're minus 109 on the Rays are a little bit of a favorite.
For a team that's playing good baseball against one of the worst teams in the division right now, that's pretty good to me.
Yeah, I don't think neither one of these teams are terrific on the offensive side of the ball. I would maybe lean under here as well, and I'd probably go against you. I'm probably lean Bo Sox there to get the win in the ninth.
So the thing about Tampa is that they were so bad in the start of the year, and they had so many, I'd say, goals, or they had so many expectations going into the year. It could be one of those times where Tampa Bay is just starting to get hot, and I think that you could be looking at a potentially decent streak building here in
Tampa. Milwaukee, Minnesota. Tyler Clippard going into bullpen day for Minnesota against the pride of the KBO, Josh Lindblom for the Brewers.
Are we going back to Minnesota? I think I kind of have to, right? Milwaukee can't hit the ball.
Yeah, Brewers are the favorite here, so you're catching value on the Twins at plus 104.
Lindblom is what? He's making his 3rd start this year, and he hasn't been great. I'm not going to go ahead and say Lindblom's really made a transition since the first time he got thrown out of the league. He's been okay.
He's been okay. He's he went 5 innings his last start against the White Sox. Gave up 4 hits, 2 earned in 5 innings.
Not bad. I'm going to Minnesota, though. I mean, they won yesterday. Milwaukee can't hit at all.
Yeah.
And Minnesota, I think, is the better overall team. So I'll lean to Minnesota.
Yeah. I mean, Minnesota gives up fewer runs. They score more runs than Milwaukee does. It's hard to get involved with Lindblom here. The Minnesota pin has been pretty good.
Especially roughly a pick 'em price. I think if you're getting Minnesota as a potential underdog at
I'm gonna take plus value on Minnesota just about every time I can catch them.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right, out in the West, the Arizona and Colorado.
I find this game one of the toughest games on the card.
Yeah,
Because
agreed.
I like both pitchers a lot. Freeland looks really good this year, which is good. Which is a good thing because he used to be really good. Had one awful year. People thought he was done, and then he managed to work back from the minors and work on his mechanics and work everything out again. So props to him. And my opinions on Gallen. I'm a huge Gallen guy.
Yeah.
I think Gallen's a really good pitcher.
And he's pitched well this season. He's had 2 quality starts against Houston and against Dodgers against the pretty good lineups there where he's given up just 2 earned over 6 innings.
Gallen, if he was not in Arizona, I think he would be a pretty good, I'd say 3 for a playoff rotation.
Yeah, I think that's legit.
I like him, and he's very young. I think they're both really good pitchers, but both teams combined for 19 runs yesterday.
I know.
And or even more than 19. I don't even remember what the score was.
What the hell did it end up being?
11-8? Was it 11-8, 12-8?
No, I think it was a 4-run difference because I think it's just they were down 5 and they just scored 1.
I'm saying, was it 12-8? 12-8 sounds right.
12-8's right, yeah.
But either or, it's Coors Field. Both bullpens are terrible. I guess first 5 unders where I'd lean, but you might see another thing like what happened yesterday. All right, I like the under. All right, congratulations. There's 5 runs in the first inning. Enjoy.
It's 11 right now, and it's going to go up because it's juiced over. So it's very likely that you're going to see.
I think I would lean first 5 under, though, because I really do like both starting pitchers.
Yeah, I think if there's a play to make, I think that's it. Colorado, believe it or not, they actually had a hard time getting started yesterday.
They scored in the first of the home run from Story, and then they exploded in like the 4th inning or something.
The 4th or the 5th, yeah, one of the
something 2. Something
two.
like that. But Robbie Ray, they realized who they were facing, and they teed off after that.
I watched Robbie Ray for an inning. When I watched that game early, I was flipping around. He was throwing gas. He looked great, keeping everything down. Then I turned it off, and of course he turns into Robbie Ray again. So
for Atlanta Brave, Robbie Ray, right?
We talked. That could be. Yeah, I don't know. We talked about. The problem with getting a starting pitcher is nobody's really out of it right now, Scott. You're a little bit past the quarter pole.
I think Pittsburgh's out of it, but yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Pittsburgh's out of it, but name another team that is really out of it. Name another team that's ready to give up a starting pitcher. You talk about San Francisco. Is San Francisco out of it?
It's not really a matter of being out of it. It's a matter of looking at the cap situation and going, we're paying Samardzija and Cueto that how much money?
That's a good point. That's a fair.
You look at the farm system and you realize, we don't really have any prospects. We could probably use a couple. So yeah. I think it's more of a salary dump if I'm really breaking it down.
Let's see what we can get on the first 5 there, buddy.
I'm assuming it'll be what, like 6.5?
6.5.
I was going to assume 6.5. Probably minus 115 on the under.
6.5 is pretty darn strong when 11 is your total.
What do you think it? What's the over under?
11.
I was talking about based on juice.
It's a little juice towards the under, minus 115.
That's what I thought it would be. I'll lean to the under.
Yeah, I'll play minus 6.5 there first 5.
It could easily blow up in your face, but with Freeland and Gallen on the mound, I like their chances of potentially limiting some damage.
Yeah, as far as the first 5 under goes, I couldn't think of 2 better pitchers. It still may not work.
For these staffs, at least.
Oh, the Coors Field can make you look stupid playing an under. No question about it. No question about it. Hey, let's talk about these. Talk about the Mariners and the Rangers.
The Mariners coming through yesterday for us.
Rangers minus 135, Mariners plus 115.
Both mentioned the Mariners yesterday. They came out pretty well.
Look at the first 5. Sorry. Hang on. Let me get back to you. There we go. Rangers minus 128 plus 118 on the Mariners. 8.5 is.
I'm going back to Seattle here.
The total there.
As a lean. Miner's been terrible.
Yeah, Miner has been awful. Marco Gonzalez is really the only bright spot of that Seattle pitching staff, and you're catching them at value. I will take Seattle there. I'll just lock that in and play plus 118 and call it good.
Mm.
All right. And speaking of the Giants, they're taking on the Houston Astros again. Astros minus 173 plus 159. 9 is your total there. Bialik goes for the Houston Astros against Tyler Anderson.
I would wait on this one because the line's gone from minus 220 to roughly minus 175. I'm going to lean to Houston, but I'd probably wait to see if it potentially gets somewhere in the 160 range.
And then pull the trigger on Houston?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of minus 160, but at the end of the day, they're on paper, they're the much better team than San Francisco.
Bialik looked good in his only start, went 5, gave up just 2 hits, no earned. Walked 3, struck out just 1 though. Those are
not great, but I'm looking at who the Giants are throwing out, and I'm okay, I guess.
Not a fan of Tyler Anderson?
No offense to Tyler Anderson, but no.
Okay. Well, he made he basically had an open against the Dodgers and didn't look great, but he did look good against Colorado, against Kyle Freeland in Colorado.
How many innings did he go in that one?
He went 5 innings, no earned, 2 hits.
Yeah, not bad, but at the end of the day, Houston tends to do pretty well against left-handed pitching.
Yeah,
so I think that's not exactly a great recipe for success for San
Francisco.
No,
that is a righty hitting team right there. That is I would lean. You know what? I'd probably take the value for a sniff and take the Giants just because Houston's been.
Oh, you can. It's just I would lean to Houston because I think that they're just the better team.
Fair enough. Oakland and the Angels. Angels home team there. Dylan Bundy goes against Mike Fiers for.
Never again. Oakland, I tried to take you seriously as a contender for one day. Never again. I can't do it.
You broke their 9-game winning streak. Well done, Scott.
It hurt too much, man. It hurt too much. It took 2.5 hours to get through 4 innings.
It's brutal.
It was so bad. So bad. It felt like an old Yankees-Red Sox game.
Oh, God.
It was so bad.
Yeah, this is a I don't know.
Over? Are we leaning over?
God, a day after a game like that, the over's at 9.
Fiers hasn't looked great. Bundy's been known to potentially blow up. Both lineups are pretty good.
I'm going to the well. I'm taking Oakland at plus 146.
Well, there's a general rule of thumb when it comes to betting, which is if you just take whoever I had the day prior when I lost, you usually win.
That's your team. That's your team.
Oakland's going to come out and win by 5 runs today, so you can just book that. But I'll lean to the over.
The hot take right there.
It's not.
Okay.
If you pay attention to the results that I've had over a long period of time, most of the plays the day that I have, any sport, I'll take a team. They'll lose. The next game, they'll easily cover the spread. Like, not even close.
All right, and here's a game that made us look smart yesterday. If you didn't see what I actually bet, it was the San Diego Padres and the Dodgers. Garrett Richards gets his start today.
Well, I don't know if it counts because I said I like the first 5 under, but Richards didn't even pitch.
Right.
Does that count?
It counts.
I know I said I like the under as well. The under would count for action. I don't think first 5s you need the exact pitcher, right?
Yes. No.
Do you?
Well, it depends on the site.
Okay. For the sake of argument, I will go with the offshore one that allows action. So
yeah. And of course, I played the Dodgers team total 4.5. I thought it was tremendous value.
Yeah, it's Los Angeles. I love betting unders in the ballpark because it's late at night in the West Coast. What do you have? You got the over 4.5 on the team total. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
San Diego bullpen is so bad.
I know, but you went through a whole little speech there.
No.
And then you're like, oh, under. And you're like, oh, it's not good. I'm like, what? You're like, I got the Dodgers team total over. I'm like, what? I was so moved by your speech. I don't know what happened there.
Love playing the West Coast unders, dude. The Giants, the Padres, and the Dodgers.
Not the Angels, though. Not the Angels.
Not well. It's just where the location of the ballpark is.
The Angels can't pitch, so that's a separate category.
I don't know. Who do you like here? You got to make a pick.
If I had to make a pick, I don't know how I don't take Stripling at like minus 150.
Yeah, minus 153 plus 141 for the.
I like Stripling as a pitcher. I think he's a pretty capable number 3, number 4 guy.
Yeah, Yeah. Neither pitcher's been great this season.
Stripling's
Richards
been okay.
4.59 EOH. Stripling is 4.0.
I think Stripling's looks better than Richards. So
Yeah, and Stripling has certainly better peripherals here. So you just hold your nose and lay the minus 155.
I think so. I'm trying to think of another spot you can find value. If you want to go back to the under, if you want to do it, you can. Richards has been pretty inconsistent his entire career. He's got pretty decent stuff. Seems to get injured all the time, but his stuff is okay. Both offenses fell asleep at the wheel yesterday. It wouldn't surprise me to see Stripling pitch well.
All right,
I think you could lean under.
Yeah, I'll ride my brilliant take and play the under in this game.
Okay. I'm looking forward to just telling me you have a team total under in that game, and the one team has 5 runs in the first inning.
Well, yeah, play the Dodgers. I would consider playing. I would consider playing the if I was going to play a team total over, I'd play the Dodgers. But
of course, but the Dodgers' offense has been so inconsistent this year.
And the Padres have been scoring runs, and they're averaging the same number of games, same number of runs per game the Dodgers are, which is 5.2, which is outstanding. That's going to win you a ton of games, which basically second in the majors to Colorado. And
I got a pretty premature question to ask about the Padres randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Tatis is already a top 5, top 3 shortstop in the league?
Yeah, top 5. Yeah,
I'd probably put him there too, which people might think is nuts because he played like 2/3 of the season last year before getting injured.
Yep.
I don't know how you don't watch him and go, "This guy's a superstar."
Yeah, I agree. I think this kid's going to be a hell of a player. This will
probably have a couple MVPs in the future.
This is a good matchup. San Diego's won 2 straight.
Well, they lost. They beat the Dodgers yesterday.
Yeah, they did 2-1. Dodgers scored good 1 hit, dude.
Okay, never mind. I don't know why. I thought the Dodgers were winning that game.
No.
Force of habit. I'm used to the Dodgers beating the Padres.
I know. I'm just gonna set it and forget and play the under.
Yep.
Of course, this will be the day that the San Diego bullpen absolutely implodes.
Well, it's 1 day overdue, so it's gonna happen.
Let's see what happens. All right, bud. Hey, there's a baseball show. A little bit of depressing college football news for you, thrown in just as a little bit of a bonus.
I can't believe it. Did you hear, by the way, independent UMass canceled the season? How am I supposed to bet on the Rovers when they give up 70 points per game if they're not playing any games?
My God, I love you. Oh, my God, I love you.
Were they like 0-12 last year? 1-11?
Awful.
Did they go winless? I don't remember if they went winless. They lost to an FCS team somewhere in there.
Yeah, they. I know. I don't think they beat the number.
They did not.
I think they were 0-12 against the number.
They were one of my favorite teams.
Oh, God, gotta love UMass.
This year they went on vacation.
Here, anybody play college football this year, Scott?
I think the SEC is going to go rogue.
Okay.
I think the South has such a blatant disregard for COVID, and they have such a revenue for not even just for colleges, but for local businesses and restaurants and all this stuff. They need the tailgating on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I think the South is just going to go, I heard a rumor that it's from 5G with your cell phone. So we're just going to, I'll order me another beer. Yeah, I think that they're going to have it in the SEC. Do I think anybody else is going to do it? No. I think the SEC could be going with exhibitions, maybe going for a conference title. But I think you'll agree with me that the SEC is kind of the dark horse candidate in all of this.
They're going to be the last ones to cancel for sure. Here's a hot take. 1861 should have just let the South go.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
All right, but I'm
sure Willie's going to take kindly to that comment.
Make sure you send all your hate mail to Scott Reichel.
To me, because I said absolutely nothing. I said the SEC was going to hold on and play college football, and you're telling me you should have let them secede permanently from the union. It's a little bit of a different take.
Let it go. Let it go. All right, man. Thanks for you that have stayed to the end.
For the SEC or no?
What's that?
You think there's going to be a season for the SEC?
I don't know.
The issue is I don't know. I really don't know. And I think the SEC might just decide, We're seceding from the NCAA.
I think that's possible. Shots fired, everybody.
I think it's possible. They might just look over and say, we kind of need this money.
You think the SEC's watching like the Big 10 cancel the Big 12 going pussies?
Yeah, looking over, suckers. More ratings for us. CBS and ESPN are going to be just fighting off each other with pitchforks trying to get broadcasting rights for all these games.
Oh my God.
You know who's thrilled about this? Vanderbilt and Arkansas, because all their games are going to be on television.
That's right. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Mizzou. Yeah.
Mizzou's been okay. Arkansas is so bad, yet they're still going to get games. They won one game last year.
They're dreadful. They're
going to get cable rights to their games.
So
good times.
And it's almost time, dude. We keep thinking this is sometime off in the future.
No, it's August. College basketball might be.
We're almost the middle of August.
I think college basketball is a disaster waiting to happen as well.
They're screwed.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. But
yeah, if you're not going to put people outside, you're sure as hell not going to put them inside.
College sports are let's just say I'm happy I graduated.
Yeah, me
Having
too.
said that, I'm sure my fellow Badgers will find a way to drink on Saturdays no matter what. But not the same without college football and college basketball, and that looks like the road that we're headed.
Yeah, I agree. All right, buddy. Well, we'll do it again tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have lots of news to report on, and we'll see what happens.
Assuming that you don't get canceled, we'll see what happens.
Assuming that I don't get canceled. So for everybody here at Winners and Winers, believe me, I speak for the entire company. No, I speak, obviously, my opinions are my own. I don't even think I need to put that caveat in there, but I will. I don't speak for anyone else other than myself when I make my bad jokes about the great people of the American South. So with that being said, I'm Scott Steen. He's Scott Reichel. Remember to direct all your hate mail to scottreichel@winnersandwiners.com.
I don't even know if I have a Winners and Winers email.
We will.
I don't think I have a Winners and Winers email. But
yeah, that's what I'd say if I were you too, buddy, because those letters are going to come in.
Genuinely, I don't know why you'd even send it to me, but if you would, you can try the email, and there's about a 90% chance it'll tell you error does not exist. So I'm rooting for you.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, it's been a real slice of life here, everybody. I'm Scott Steen. He's Scott Reichel. Don't forget to stop by and check out winnersandwiners.com for deep dives into every game going on in America every single day. Join us every day for Today in Sports Betting as we run down the NBA and the MLB. And, of course, we give our hot takes on college football as well. You guys take care. Have a great day. Good luck on all of your plays. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.